Hello again, everyone. This is Jan from New York City with a bonus upload this afternoon. I told you I like to make videos on the fly sometimes. Hey, how's everybody doing this afternoon? You know, I had a steak today. Not the most expensive one. I also have a better quality one still lying in the freezer, a ribeye steak. But this other one was like considered a shell steak and it had like a bone on it. So I said, you know something, I'm going to turn this into a mouth-watering thing. Now, in a minute, I'm going to show you the end result of the final dish. Okay, this is the rice being made by Steve Young's method. Right here, we're in like transition here when I took this photo. But I want to show you from this to the magic of how the whole thing looks later. It is so inexpensive, it is a joke. Now with this meat thing going on right now, or any time for that matter, if you want to have a mouth-watering, budget-stretching, fast dinner, well, fast in so much as the only thing you really kind of need to cook is the rice. But using Steve's method, it is really simple. So I'm going to give you the whole thing in a minute, and we'll talk about it. I just want to show you the end result first, and at the end of this video, I will give you the recipe. Here you go. Hey, thank you so much for viewing because I really do appreciate your time. You know, I had a couple of steaks in the freezer. One of them is a beautiful ribeye steak. It is still in the freezer. But what I decided to do today, I decided to take down one of my less expensive cuts of beef. But I said the best way that I could turn that into a mouth-watering meal is by, guess what, searing it and slow cooking it. And that is precisely what I did. So for the cost of, what was it, about maybe $4, that steak? And what I did was I seared it on both sides. And I put my favorite adobo all around it and extra seasoning to taste. And then I had a jar of prepared spaghetti sauce. And what I did basically, I just like put a little bit, enough on the bottom to cover the slow cooker. Not a ton. And what happened was I placed the steak in there, the seared steak. I put it on high. I put it on high for like 3.5, 4 hours. Wow, mouth-watering to say the least. But I said, I need a little bit of something to go with this. Then, the light bulb went off my head, and I prepared real rice, like for the first time in about, 50 years. Tell you the truth, I always used minute rice, not going to lie. So, Life with Patty had sent some rice, and then one of my other friends sent more rice. I have a ton of rice here. I have to start using it, not let it collect dust. But customarily, I used the other one. And then I remembered our friend Steve, if you recall, Steve Young, showed us a very, very great method of preparing the rice. And we'll head over to his recipe. And then we'll go back to this, and then I'll tell you a little story about this image. You might laugh. Hey, everybody can use a chuckle every now and again, right? Okay, I'll be right back. Thank you so much, Steve. I really appreciate your giving me this recipe again to read. So here we go. Everybody take note. It's very simple, and believe you me, I have not made real rice literally since the 1970s. Stop it, stop. I could hear the roar of the crowd, but I'm a New Yorker. I'm just saying. Anyway, 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water. Now, you're going to double the water for the amount of rice used. Definitely need 1 pat of butter. Okay, now you're going to place this on the stove. You're going to cook on high. You're going to bring it to a boil. Once it starts boiling, you have to wait approximately 30 seconds. You're going to turn off and set aside 15 minutes until water evaporates. I failed to mention that you need to cover the pot, okay? So cover the pot from the beginning. Okay, we'll go over it again. 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water. You're going to double the water for the amount of rice used. You need definitely 1 pat of butter. And you're going to cover the pot. You're going to place it on a stove, covered, on high. Bring it to a boil. Once that happens, you wait about 30 seconds. Turn it off, move it over, set it on the side for 15 minutes until the water evaporates. Guess what? Even I did it. Now, for me, I mean, that's a ta-da moment. I'm just saying. I'm not lying. The last time I boiled rice from scratch had to be about 1976 because I had a hankering for old-fashioned rice balls. Anybody out there ever eat rice balls? You make them the same way you make meatballs, basically. And you incorporate shredded mozzarella. Well, one day we'll talk about it on a recipe show. I know. It's just so good. Hey, thank you, Steve. Even though you weren't here, your recipe and yourself is here. You're both here in spirit. And thank you so much. Then I want to tell you a funny story when I head back. Thanks so much for sticking around. Basically, what I wanted to tell you, what you're looking at that might run approximately 7 minutes or so, literally has taken me an hour and a half. If you knew what I went through, okay, first of all, number one, I did not plan to do this at all. I just noticed that my dish looked beautiful, and I wanted to share it with Steve in terms of at least, transmitting it to his home electronically, the image through a video. And we both came to a conclusion that that video should be on a show. But the only problem is that the video itself was recorded in a manner that I couldn't even show it to you. Because to see the way you look at the picture left to right, well, the video seemed to be recorded up and down. I couldn't rotate it. I couldn't fix it to save my life. So once again, I have to credit Steve Young for the technology aspect of this. Thank you so much, Steve. But the funny part, it was a disaster. I'm playing myself on playback. I don't know, I sounded like I was coming out of a rain barrel. It just wasn't worth it. I couldn't do this to you guys. But anyway, thankfully, Steve saved the day. Technology saved the day. But most importantly, we really wanted to share this recipe with you. Because, like I said, thank you, Steve. I have not cooked real rice since the 1970s, true story. And I was making rice balls because at that time my father was into eating a lot of rice balls. And he liked the way mine came out. What could I tell you? But then I just started always doing it, the minute type way. And something, it's good. It's very good, but it's not the same as the real deal. And I really, really enjoyed this. So I just had to share a little bit of a cute story. What took, an hour and a half? Well, anyway, you get the point. And the bottom line is this, budget stretcher. We're watching our pennies with the meat prices skyrocketing. Take something else that is a filler. And, this time the meat and the rice, both of them are the star of the show. And it was the simplest thing ever, and I know you might enjoy it. That's if you care for beef. You could do the same method with chicken, but I'm sure that the chicken cooking time in a slow cooker would be that much shorter. Okay? Okay. And in the meantime, this has been Jan from New York City and Steve remotely. Thank you so much for coming by because we really do appreciate your time. Don't forget to come back tomorrow for Money Monday. Yeah, I know, but we're going to talk about payday loans. Don't forget, come back tomorrow. See you then. Have a great day, everybody.